Hi everyone, thanks again for joining me. Before we get started, I wanted to ask a quick question, and that is, what can I do better? Do I need to make my videos pop a bit more? Maybe I just need to spend a bit more time editing so it's not one big continuous shot. Let me know, really interested to find out, and make videos better for you, not only to learn, but just enjoy watching more. Thanks, and I guess, yeah, now to the actual video where I will be painting a couple of bananas in the style of an oil painting using Krita software, in which I'm just going to loosely draw out the background, a couple of different shades. It's going to be on a wooden bench, and then I'm going to sketch out the shape of bananas and pretty much just fill it in with one solid color with a pretty rough brush. And then we're just going to be starting to layer different shades as we normally do on our, I suppose, fruit and vegetable journey. Now this will be the last attempt of, I suppose, oil painting different fruit and veg and inanimate objects, because now I'm going to be going back to the fundamentals where I'm going to be learning how to, first of all, draw heads and faces. And then I'm going to be working on my proportion work a lot more. And then I guess I'll just see where things take me. I know I need to practice drawing hands a lot more and just drawing 3D in general. So look forward to that. And now that I've got my base color started, I'm just going to go in with a couple of darker tones and get around the edge, assuming that light is being applied from the top right side of the screen. So these darker shades are going to come in between the three bananas, which is going to make them a bit more distinct. So it's not just a big clump of yellow. And because bananas they aren't uniformly yellow, there is different spots where they're potentially aging a bit more than others. So there's going to be a bit more oxidation and darkening. We're going to have a couple of spots, and that's going to break up this monotonous, just blank yellow color. And that's also the case for the faint lines that almost divide each side of the peel, and that's also going to help break up that solid chunk of white. And although it doesn't look perfect right now, I'm adding the extremes on one side or the other. So there's going to be very bright yellows and very dark oranges and browns, and this is a technique that I'm trying to learn, color theory, I suppose, where it's not light yellow and dark yellow for bright and dark. It's going to be closer to white and then orange and brown to get those dark colors, because going from bright yellow to dark yellow is just monochromatic, I suppose, and that's not how the world really exists. And to get a bit more definition in the bananas, I'm adding a bit more separation of detail. So I'm going to add some black lines. Typically I wouldn't do this, but when it comes to bananas, things really do get a very dark black, brown kind of thing. So I really need to emphasize that, as well as adding a bit of green to show any parts that are different anatomically on the banana itself. And then we can start adding a bit of shadow. So I'm adding a bit of dark yellow and dark green, which kind of blend between the two, because as you can see on that circle, yellow and green are next to each other. So we can get between those and then make it a lot darker, which is going to be what's going to take up a lot of the head of the banana. I assume that's the top of the banana. I don't eat bananas. As it turns out, I'm quite allergic. But now I'm going to go with a larger, softer brush just to make those changes in color a bit less drastic, bit of a smoother gradient. And I've certainly not got used to finding which colors I need. If I actually drew and painted outside of my tablet, I'd have a lot of difficulty actually making the colors that I need to paint with. And it's coming together. I'm going to highlight a bit of reflectivity again using those white spots, and then I'm going to work on the background. So I'm just going to draw that bench, and given the proportions of the bench, either these bananas are colossal or I have a very teeny tiny desk which is dedicated to drawing bananas. But I found drawing in the effect of oil painting as being a really comfortable way to ease myself into digital painting, because when you look at oil paintings, at least more amateur ones, there's not a lot of refined detail, so you can really paint and create a lot more freely, and some of it's the implication of detail and some of it is just a complete lack of it, because that's just not the style. You're able to get the impression of what you're seeing without having the specified detail to show what it actually is, and that really shows with this table. I'm not drawing any particular planks of wood or any design in the veneer. It's just different shades and values of brown to give the impression of light and dark on this table. And I'm hoping by the end of it, you really do get the impression of this kind of old school painting of maybe 100 years ago. That's an arbitrary number, but thought I'd just throw it out there. Adding a bit of shading. There's no real sense of where the shading should be, so I am just throwing ideas onto the page at this point. But the more I add to it, the more convinced it actually looks like a pair of bananas, which, looking back at the start, is night and day in comparison. So I've been really happy with this. I know I need to work a lot more on different layerings, but there is a bunch of bananas. I'm happy to do this again with something else if you guys are interested, but for the time being, I'm going to go back to the drawing board, learn some more techniques, and then show you the results. So thank you everyone for joining me on my banana painting journey, and hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what kind of things you want to see in the future and how I can improve my videos. Thank you everyone for watching, and I hope everyone has an incredible day. Thanks.